one of the hot topics, I think, has been in the background of a lot of things, but it's always been something that people have been very curious about, obviously, since her return, is the future of Irene's character. Now, I've seen some theories from people about, like, her taking over Selene's body. I don't like the idea of that from both, like, a point in the story, but also, like, I don't even know how she would possibly do that, given that Irene is powerful, but Selene just completely blows her out of the water. Like, we know that. We know that Selene is clearly, like, a much more powerful character in all aspects. And Irene, I just don't think she's willing to do that. Like, I don't think she's going to try and get that risky. Because if this Irene gets erased, then I don't really see her making it out of here. But the thing, though, about, one, how I think she's going to get a body, and why it's going to be this arc, plays very heavily with the last chapter. So the whole thing about her obviously needing a new body, it would come down to, well, the thoughts are, who would she take over? But I don't think it really has to be that. Like, when people say, like, her taking over Selene's body, I don't really think it has to be somebody else's body, really. Because in the last chapter, in chapter 77, we got some information on some the whole stuff going on in Elentir with, like, the weird hands. So in chapter 76, it ended with what looked like somebody massacred the Whiteout village, when in reality, the people hurt weren't actually members of the Whiteout village. The people hurt were these things called Sumayaka, which are, like, pieces of, like, those hands that came off and became, human-like. So think about that right there. You have a means of having a human-like body without it really being another person. Because Selene, I think that they're going to need some bigger people in there. And Irene's body, again, think about it, because Irene isn't really crazy anymore. We've seen that she definitely had, just a little sparks of, like, in her head, but she's not going to be, like, the same level of just, like, cracked that we saw during Alvarez. She should be way more mentally stable, way more kind of together, and she shouldn't have much of a reason to be malefic as she was. So I don't think that she would require, like, from her point where she is at now in the story, to just take the body of another person, where right now, with these Sumayaka things, she could just take one of those. There's nobody in there. They seem just to be, like, fleshy bodies that don't have much of, like, anything inside of them from the point of, like, a personality or a being. So could she figure out a way to use one of those to put her personality in there and take their body, take that thing and take it as a vessel? And one of the reasons why I think it's actually the best scenario for it making it into this arc, because really when you think about the 5 dragon gods, you think about what we've been at, where we're at now, and what's in the future. When it came to defeating Mercephobia, that was with Ignea's interference. That was something that they don't have that available to them. They don't have that level of boost given to Natsu at, in this scenario. With Alderaan didn't get as powerful as he was, like the other dragon gods, and, not counting Viernus, because we don't know much about Viernus still, he's mystery, from whatever method they had, just getting stronger. Seemingly, I would have guessed, from similar to Ignea, just becoming more powerful, training, get stronger and whatnot. Alderaan became stronger by kind of doing a cheat, like he just rested for hundreds of years, 300 years, and just absorbed nutrients and power from the people that were living on him. So he ended up, again, being able to achieve this state through a different method than outright just becoming stronger, the natural way. And because of that, they were able to beat him through, like, a means of, like, the mechanics. You take down each of the god seeds, he gets weaker, and then they're on a timer of how long until they get back up, and he returns to his full strength. So the god seed Alderaan was weakened, so they get to defeat him. They don't have that with Selene. They don't have any of those things. And with Ignea 100%, I believe, needs to be a one-on-one for Natsu. It is a very personal match to Natsu. I do not think that any of the other characters should play, like, a major role in that fight. The only character I would kind of want, if need be, to be part of it in some way is Lucy. And with Viernus is, again, a complete mystery. We don't know anything about Viernus. But the thing about Selene, that Selene has right now potentially stacked against her, is the level of group that could come and fight her. You have the entire, normal Fairy Tail main cast, Natsu, Gray, Urza, Lucy, Wendy, and then you have Suzaku. I assume Scully and Madmel and Kiryu are somewhere in Elentir, and they'll unite at some point. And as well as, clearly from what Suzaku is saying, further back of what I've been saying about Diablos, is I don't think they're evil. I think that it's just a misunderstanding between them and Fairy Tail, and if they kind of just would stop and then talk things over, they could probably get on the same page. But if they're able to do that, add that to the group. Take those 4, stack it into the main group. And then you also have a bunch of characters that could easily show up at any time. Because the weird thing, that's the wild card, really, about Selene's arc in Elentir, is any character that's alive could show up at any point. The only factor in someone like Laxus, Jalal, Sting and Rogue, Juvia, to, throw a rock at a character, literally go to a wiki page, press random, and then the second you find a live character, that character has the potential to show up. The one factor determining whether or not those characters show up in this arc is whether or not Selene wants it. Because Selene has the full capabilities to bring anybody into this arc, again, that is alive. She can just decide, if she decides, Laxus, I want him to be here, or somebody maybe she knows about Jalal because she wants to mess with Urza, and then she decides to pull Jalal over here. None of them have a say in it. You couldn't do anything. Selene just pops up and says, hey, I'm bringing you over, or just teleports you over. They have zero resistance. Not only is she, again, have the full capabilities of bringing them over across these dimensions, they're not strong enough to resist her. She's too powerful. She's one of the most powerful people, in the series. Any of the characters that would have, had the potential to stand up against her are either not going to, because Ignia, good luck getting Ignia to do anything for you at all. And, why would she even want to associate with Ignia? Because they don't seem to really be on good terms between the Dragon Gods, so maybe it could be a different case if we see them one-on-one interacting, but as far as I know, and as far as we know, they're not close. And Viernes, mystery, wildcard. I assume Selene knows where he is and probably has met him because she seems extremely intelligent, but also very knowing of just people in general, and she has the capability, again, to go wherever she wants at any point she wants. And then other people, Acnologia, dead. Alderaan, I assume dead. I know there are some people have theorized that maybe he's still alive. Maybe became a weird seedling dragon or something and got away. Unless something like that happens, I assume he's dead. And Mercephobia, despite the fact that it's a mystery entirely of what happened to him, what happened to his power, he's stuck in this human form, but he is a dragon, so there's a mystery there we haven't got to, but he can't do anything about it. The 2 characters really around that could even fight back against Selene's decisions, they're not going to do anything to any other character. Unless Selene goes to them, they're not intervening. So these characters can all show up. Again, literally any character that's not here could pop up that's alive. Selene just has to decide to do it. And then Irene, if she's able to get a body, because again, if she's able to help join in against the fight against Irene, that's a huge boost. Again, the gap between Irene and Selene is still very, very large. Selene is definitely more powerful. But Irene added to the team is such a big plus. Wendy is an amazing member to have in your group at any moment. Any moment she is a valuable member. She's both a healer, a support mage, but she can also fight and defend herself. She's not one of those support characters who, if you catch them off guard and you just grab them or do something to them, you might be able to take them out, take their healer out. Wendy can handle herself. And then you have that, pump it up the side, double it, and then put one of them, obviously Irene, put them at Irene's level with not only way more powerful, but also having way more enchantments and is obviously way more skilled in the craft onto the team. You have an actual good fighting chance against Selene. So I think that the whole Sumayaka thing is a potential way that could bring Irene back into the fray of things, could bring Irene onto the team to help fight against Selene. Because I also think still that Selene should have some form of opinion on Irene. I feel like any of these dragon gods, if they know about Irene, they should have some, I would assume, negative opinion on her, because Irene is one of the 3 most important characters in the whole series. The 3 most important characters from the core of the story are Zeref, Acnologia, and Irene. You take any of them out, you break the story. no Irene means no Acnologia, no dragon slaying magic. The dragons never, go near extinct. None of the dragon gods have to flee Acnologia. And that's that. Like, Irene should be known, especially by Selene, because Selene, again, she's shown that she's very intelligent, she's very knowing. So I assume if she sees Irene, she's going to have something to say about her. So they should have some form of clash there. And I think not only, again, in where it fits in the story, I think it would be a really interesting decision from the standpoint of their characters. But anyway, I just wanted to share that because I was thinking about it because I was like, well, what is the point of really giving to Sumayaka this like humanoid form? Is it just to have that shock value at the end of chapter 76? Or is Mishima doing something with this? And again, setting up Irene. Because Irene, showing up near the tail ends of Alderon's arc in Drasil, where she only really, for the most part, had the moment, like a couple moments with Wendy, now has the potential to come back. So tell me what your thoughts are rather on this whole idea. If you think this would be like the perfect way to bring back Irene, because again, not only would it fit into like a very logical way to do it, but it also would really, really help even the odds against Irene, against Selene rather, because like the Moonlit Beauty gods, like they're clearly somewhat formidable. Like Hukune is the only one that I see really as a big threat. Maybe there's more than just the three, who knows? But they're not the level of giant, horrendously powerful dragon god wall that these characters have to topple in order to progress past this arc in the story. Anyway, other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, turn the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everybody's already subscribed. Thank you all for listening. Bye.